I know a lot of you already, but my name's Rebecca Marcus, and I've been coordinating programs at our library here in Gold Beach for just about 5 years. So today I'm going to talk to you kind of all things programs, especially summer programs. And I'm going to start out just with kind of a little bit of recent history of programs at the library. So when I first started at the library, we were offering programs kind of inside the library part where the stacks are. Some of you, I'm sure, remember those days. We would clear out the armchairs and the tables and set up a podium and a projector and cram everybody in. And we did all sorts of programs in there. We did concerts, we did lectures, we had, of course, weekly story times. And we made it work. It wasn't ideal, but we did it. I think we even one time had our baby animals program inside the library because it was pouring rain. And it's kind of the reality for a lot of rural libraries. That's kind of what their programs look like. But we were very lucky that in 2015, as many of you know, we received a really generous bequest, actually several, but from Harold Hogg's estate, and we were able to use that money to start planning and fundraising for the Library Learning Center, which is the big, new, fancy part of the library. And when our friends group was working on that, they spent a lot of time getting community input on what they wanted this new space to look like. So there was a lot of surveys that went out, stakeholder meetings, things like that. And what that culminated in was that whole new additional wing on the library. I know almost all of you have been in our library, probably all of you have, so you know what I'm talking about. But along with that came the big new meeting hall, which can hold about 150 people and has excellent acoustics, and our conference room upstairs, an art gallery, a tech lab makerspace, a couple of lobbies. And it changed pretty significantly what we were able to do in terms of programming. So a couple of kind of notes about programs at the library. We try to really offer something for everyone, which is why we have a huge variety of programs. And it's also why we have some programs where 100 people show up and other programs that maybe have 3 people. And we consider both of those successes because those 3 people got to learn something that they wanted to know about. And that's part of our library mission, is lifelong learning, so that ties into programs as well. Another kind of neat thing I think about programs at the library is one of our, I would say, core kind of philosophies is that all of our programs are accessible to everyone. So that means that we don't charge money for any of our library-sponsored programs, and we work hard to make it that way. Sometimes we have to go out and get a grant, and we will do that. And occasionally we get asked questions about that, why don't you charge for this? And it's because we very intentionally don't. So I think that's pretty special, really. So I'm going to go in and talk a little bit about first summer reading, because that's the big program we have coming up next. And summer reading's just around the corner. It's for all ages, so babies, preschoolers, elementary kids, middle schoolers, teens, parents, adults, seniors, everybody. I'm going to get you all signed up today, hopefully, if you're willing. But a little history on summer reading. I was just kind of reading about this. It actually started as a concept in the 1890s, and it's actually not that different than how we run it today. I thought that was kind of neat. It started in cities, mostly in Cleveland, where it first started, and as a way to get children to keep reading in the summer, and especially in urban areas. It wasn't so common in rural areas where those children were needed to work on the farms and such. But they pretty quickly added, first it was just sort of like a list of, here's the books you should read this summer that they distribute at the schools. But they kind of added a component of prizes and summer read, discussions. There'd be clubs and stuff like that, and to get more kids reading. And then 100 years later, in the 1990s, they did a whole lot of research on this thing called summer slide, which is this, basically it's where kids who do not read in the summer lose a lot of the knowledge that they learned in the previous school year. I think if you talk to any teacher here, they will tell you that this is true. And it especially disproportionately affects lower income students. So for all these reasons, we think it's really important for kids to be reading in the summer. And so you might ask why it's important for you all to be reading in the summer too. There's also a lot of research that shows that kids who see adults reading will read more. So it's great to have the kids in your life see you reading. But it's also, as adults, reading is really great for your brains and to keep you sharp and all those things. So we want you all to keep reading too. So that's a little kind of why history on summer reading. The way that we do summer reading at Curry Public Library is we kind of have everybody split into different age groups. So there's like my 5-month-old son will be participating in summer reading. Obviously he's not reading books on his own, but we are reading books with him. And so for his age group, we'll be logging every day that he read a book with someone. And some of the older age groups, they're logging how many minutes or hours that they're reading. And the adults, we're having you all log how many books you read. And by books, I mean, could be a book, it could be a magazine, could be an audiobook. Audiobooks count, graphic novels count. We just want you reading and engaging with written works. So, as everybody reads, based on the different age groups, they qualify for prizes. So, if my 5-month-old son reads for 7 days, he gets to come and pick a prize off the summer reading prize shelf. And this year we have actually really awesome prizes. We've been working pretty hard on having books as prizes for everyone, for the kids who participate. And so they get to come in and pick a book off for every certain amount that they read. And a lot of them get pretty excited about it. And this year, I mean, they're pretty much all new books. A lot of them are books that we've talked to kids about and they have asked for. And some of them they're even really excited about, like they're reading so they can come get that book that they really want. So that's cool. And then kids who complete the whole program also get at the end a $100 gift certificate from Jerry's Rogue Jets to go on the jet boats. And they've been donating those for quite a few years.
About 5 years, I think.
Yeah, incredibly generous. Kind of makes it possible for a lot of families to go on a jet boat trip, so that's really cool. I'm going to talk just for a minute about adults. I brought you all your very own summer reading log that you can take with you. You get it in advance, but you're not allowed to log anything until June 17th. That's the deal. But basically, there's a little bookshelf here. So for every book that you read, you get to choose your style. You can either color it in or you can write the title of the book in or whatever. And then for the first 3 books that you read this summer, if you bring your log into the library, we will give you a gift certificate for Coastal Cups coffee, which she very generously donated, Vera. So appreciate that. And then after that, every 3 books you read all summer, you get a raffle ticket entry into the grand prize drawing. There will be 2 grand prize winners drawn, and they get to choose between 3 different prizes. So this year, you get to choose between either a 12-month Audible membership, or if you have one already, you get the year's worth of credits applied to your existing account. Yeah. I know, I'm like, I need that. Or you can choose a quarterly book box subscription for 1 year from the Strand. which is a bookstore, and it's cool. You can pick your genre, and then they'll send you a cool book box for a year, so that's fun. Or you can choose a $150 gift card to Otter V's online market, which is a local business Kathleen Dixon runs, where she has all sorts of local food products, mostly food products, and you can have it delivered to your house. So you should read this summer for lots of reasons, but there's some great prize incentives. And today I also have for all of you, this is our summer reading programs calendar. And so in addition to logging reading and try to help families and adults create reading habits at home, we also do have some programs that we do, and all the summer reading programs are run like once a week during the 6 weeks of summer reading. So I'm not going to describe every single one of them to you because they're described really well on this calendar that Janae, our wonderful children's librarian, created. But I'll highlight a couple of them. And one of them it's called Stream Time. And STREAM is an acronym. It's kind of like STEM, but we've put it on steroids. So it's science, technology, reading, engineering, art, math, and music. And the way it works is in our giant meeting hall, there's tables with activities set up in all of these different kind of subjects. And kids ages 0 through 18, and adults are welcome to come check it out too. It's pretty cool. They can come in and they can try out all the different activities, or they can just kind of pick one and do it the whole time. It's kind of set up so that they can like learn in their own way. And Janae, this is the first time she tried this, was last year, and it was a huge success. Like hundreds of people come. It's kind of a drop-in thing weekly from about 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And yeah, I mean, it was so successful. She actually recently presented about it at the Oregon Library Association conference. So it's pretty cool. So we're going to do that again. And she has lots of ideas. She's been thinking about it all year. So a couple other things we have going weekly. We always have a weekly story time going, which is it's important not only for kids, to be exposed to those early literacy skills, but it's also, I would say it's just as valuable for parents and caregivers of children to connect with each other. And Janae has set it up so that there's like time kind of for that, this sort of hangout time. And she's really thought about how to set up the space for that as well, to encourage people to kind of connect with each other and get to know other parents. And a couple other programs going every week this summer. Brandon, my colleague, does a game day where they play Pokemon card games, and super popular, so that'll be on Friday mornings. We're going to be our Ascend is our after-school program. I'll talk a little bit about in a minute, but they have basically, they're hired and trained 7 high schoolers as interns this summer, and they've been doing some great training with them. And they are going to be helping support a couple programs for middle school age and up students that'll be weekly. There's like a book cafe program where they can come and hang out in our soon-to-be refreshed teen room. And read and talk about books, and there's also a STEM activities for them as well. So yeah, take this, check it out. A lot of these programs are geared towards ages 0 through 18, but there's really cool stuff in there. So take one, share it. There's also actually one of these on the back of your reading log too. So that's summer reading. Let me see if I missed anything important on that front. Any questions on summer reading before I move on? All right. Okay. So I'm going to talk for a minute about we have a really wonderful after-school program called Ascend, and it's for middle school students. We identified that as an area that especially needed like some extra activities and support in our community, and Jeremy and Rusty, when he was working at the library, applied for a 21st Century Community Learning Center grant and received it almost 5 years ago. That has allowed us to do this program. We're the first library ever to receive this grant, right? I didn't just make that up.
At least.
It was something like that. Okay, east of the Mississippi. That's pretty good. Anyhow, that crew, we have a really good crew working for Ascend right now, and they've been, they do regular academic support for those students, like after school, but they also have a lot of enrichment activities for them as well. They've been doing yoga, and they've been doing art with local artists, and for a while they had a Spanish conversation group going, and just all sorts of really cool stuff. And then as students participate in certain programs, like there's a book club, if they participate in that, then they earn kind of the privilege to go on some of these field trips. So they've gone on field trips to Coos Bay, where they visited a community college campus up there. They also went to Brookings and did that. And then recently this book group went to Eugene, where they visited the University of Oregon campus. They also visited some local bookstores and I think the trampoline park, yeah. So it's pretty cool. This summer they are going to be doing programs. They're going to meet regularly at the park, and it'll be for incoming 6th through 8th grade students who will be entering 6th through 8th grade this fall. And yeah, regular programs in the park, but there'll also be some special excursions, doing mountain biking, kayaking on the Chetco, I think rafting or kayaking on the Rogue. And there's also a really cool junior lifeguard program that they partnered with Luke Martinez and others to do that. This year it's going to be offered in both Port Orford and Brookings. So that's pretty cool. Any questions on Ascend? Okay, great. So I'm going to move on to the tech lab here. Let me check my time, make sure I'm not talking too much. Okay, I'm going to talk faster. Our tech lab is one of the things that we were able to open with the new Librarian Learning Center. And they have really cool equipment up there, 3D printers, a laser engraver, vinyl cutter, large format printer, sewing machines, and more. And they have open hours where community members can come and use the equipment or learn how to use the equipment. We also have laptops in there that have all like Adobe Suite, all sorts of software, and we offer a ton of programs out of the tech lab. And one of the cool things about those programs is there's like something for everyone. We have programs all the way from like how do I get my smartphone to connect to Wi-Fi to how do I 3D model the shed that I want to build. Like there's just a really wide variety. And they're all really small group classes so that you can get a lot of one-on-one attention. We also, so this summer alone, and I brought you all a tech lab brochure that you can take with you that has all of the different summer classes. There's 14 different offerings this summer, and there's 28 sessions of those different classes. So if one time doesn't work, you can try another. But a couple of things I want to highlight that they're doing this summer. And Anna Marie's in our tech lab now. She's helping with a lot of this, or has thought of a lot of this actually. But she's starting up a lunchtime program series that some of the sessions are geared more towards those with lower tech skills or perhaps seniors. And then others are for businesses where they can come and attend just one lunchtime session and go away with some knowledge of like how to use Canva for flyers or how to set up a Google My Business profile. In that one, they'll actually set it up in the class and just have it ready to go. She's also going to be doing one on ChatGPT and how to, which is artificial intelligence, how to use it in the kitchen. Crafting with Cricut, which is our vinyl cutter, and we're going to be doing some field trips with our digital photography offerings. If you don't see something you want from them, you can also sign up for a one-on-one session to get some help or suggest a program. Last but not least, I'm just going to cover a few of the adult programs we have coming up. And I coordinate a lot of the adult programs, and we try to do a mixture of, lectures on different topics, film screenings, hands-on programs, concerts, all sorts of things. But we've had really generous funding for adult programs to offer arts and music program from the Tamas Day Foundation and Ron Cook. So we've been able to develop some partnerships like with the Brit Festival to bring over some world-class musicians. And we built an outdoor movie screen. We will be showing a couple of movies out there this summer and then more in the fall when we can have our start times earlier, because we've discovered that the people of Gold Beach don't stay out very late. But so keep tuned on that. But yeah, on regular rotation, we offer a watercolor meetup group, a writers group that meets regularly. We're often doing Qigong or yoga with a cookbook club that meets once quarterly, where they pick a theme and then everyone makes a recipe and brings it to share both the food and the recipe with others. We do a tiny art show annually. We have artist talks, usually quarterly, that go with the exhibit that we have upstairs. And trivia night, third Thursday is trivia night again. It's come back after COVID, and that's really popular. Right now we're kind of in planning mode, but this summer we do have a cookbook club coming up with a theme of picnic food. And then we also have a watercolor workshop for beginners with the artist that's going to be exhibiting up there this summer. So that's kind of adult programs we have coming up. We have a lot of stuff we're working on for fall right now, so stay tuned. So if you ever, the best place to go to see all the programs that we're offering is our website. There's an events calendar. That's the first place we post everything. If there's ever any changes, that's where we put it. If there's a program that you need to sign up for, which are mostly the Tech Lab programs, which are free, but they have limited space because of our equipment, that's where you go to do it. And if you ever have ideas for programs, please let us know. You can contact us. I meant to bring my card and forgot to, but you can contact me at the library. We also have a form on our website where you can suggest a program, and it shoots an email straight to me. And we really have gotten great ideas from community members. And we are, we're here for you and your learning needs, so please send us your ideas. Are there any questions?
Let's give a round of applause.